Hey, it's Kiratiana, and I'm back with another video to help you prepare for New Year's Eve. As you all know, I've been living in Rio de Janeiro for the last 4 years, and I've done New Year's Eve here for 4 years, so I know what I'm talking about. This particular video is going to break down 10 things that you should never do on New Year's Eve in Rio de Janeiro. And if you avoid doing these things, you will be ahead of every other person who makes these same mistakes. So let's get to the list. Copacabana Palace is by far the best hotel on Copacabana Beach. But trying to get in there on New Year's Eve is not something I would advise you to do. In fact, it's just not going to happen. On other days, like the week before, the week after, Copacabana Palace is in general, especially its restaurant, is open to people who are not staying at the hotel. But if you're not actually booked in Copacabana Palace on New Year's Eve, you will not be getting in there. So don't even try it. I know you want to see the pool. I know you want to visit the restaurant. Don't do it. Do not leave your hotel, apartment, Airbnb at 9 p.m. headed to Copacabana Beach, expecting to get a nice, comfortable spot right in front of Copacabana Palace, right in front of the stage. That's just not going to happen because there have been people out there since probably 3, 4, 5 o'clock setting up for this moment. Now, that's not to say that you won't actually be able to see the fireworks, but will you have a comfortable spot? Probably not. So if you want more space, if you want to actually sit on the beach, that is assuming that you haven't booked your ticket to a kiosk, because you know I love me some kiosk parties, then kind of go towards the edges of Copacabana Palace. The edges of Copacabana Beach. When I say the edges of Copacabana Beach, I mean go towards Limy, go towards closer to Ipanema. As you get further and further to the edges of Copacabana Beach, there's going to be less people and it's going to be just more relaxing, more spread out, and you can sit on the beach, get your spot, and the fireworks are just as amazing. So let's assume that you're not staying in Copacabana. Maybe you're staying in Botafogo, Flamingo, Centro, Baja. That means that you have to find a way to get home after the fireworks. And what you need to do is buy your metro ticket in advance. So what you don't want to do is arrive in Copacabana Beach without having bought your metro ticket in advance, especially if you plan to leave earlier than 5 a.m. because that's when taxis and Ubers will be allowed into Copacabana. So don't just go willy-nilly to Copacabana Beach without having an exit plan. You need a way to get home. So buy that metro card, which you have to buy for a specific time period, so you will be able to get on that metro and get home out of Copacabana Beach. Wear high heels. I mean, okay, yeah, the only way that you will be allowed to wear high heels is if you are going to the Copacabana Palace party. Other than that, you are banned from wearing high heels during New Year's Eve in Rio de Janeiro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's just not worth your feet. Okay? Carrying your original identification on Copacabana Beach during New Year's Eve. Get a copy. It's just not worth it. Don't carry your passport. Don't carry your Brazilian ID. Well, I guess Brazil, maybe it's different for Brazilians, but do not carry your passport on Copacabana Beach on New Year's Eve. I mean, it's just so many people that it can be snatched, you could lose it. Just get a copy. And actually, what I tend to do is I tend to have a laminated copy because, you know, obviously if it rains, the copy of your passport would get all nasty and fall apart. But if you have a laminated copy, it's just as good as your regular passport. So please don't bring your original identification out on the beach on New Year's Eve. do a full day tour of Rio de Janeiro on New Year's Eve or even the day before. I'm just gonna let y'all know, New Year's Eve is not the day to go gallivanting around Rio de Janeiro. The traffic is horrible. Plus, especially if you're staying in Copacabana Beach, they stopped letting people into Copacabana Beach. They stopped letting like cars into Copacabana Beach after 6 p.m. It's just not worth it. Use New Year's Eve to chill out on the beach. If you're near Copacabana Beach, chill at home, do something very relaxing because you're gonna be up all night until at least 2 or 3 a.m. So please do not schedule that crazy tour of Rio de Janeiro on New Year's Eve. I don't even know if people even do tours. They might do a morning little shindig, but don't even do that. Don't be tempted to go to the Sugarloaf on the morning of New Year's Eve, to go to Christ on the morning of New Year's Eve, to go downtown on the morning of New Year's Eve. No, stay where you're at and just go to Copacabana Beach around 6 or 7, 8 p.m. Wear a huge purse. I don't know. I mean, yeah, just avoid huge purses, please. Like, when you're dressing up for New Year's Eve in Rio de Janeiro for women, you want to find a very small, over-the-shoulder purse that will just hold your necessities. Cash, copy of your identity, and a key. That's your necessities for the night. And don't be bringing no clutch out onto the beach. It's just not worth it. Clutches don't belong in Rio de Janeiro. Don't do it. Stand right in front of Copacabana Palace if you hate crowds. There's this huge misconception that on New Year's Eve, there's all these crowds and it's uncomfortable. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of Brazilians love to be around a lot of people. Like, their tolerance for personal space is much higher than me, much higher than the typical American. So if you actually don't want to be around crowds, you actually don't have to be around that many crowds during New Year's Eve. What you can do is go to the outer edges of Copacabana. So that means going to the farther edges of Leme and going to the far edges of Copacabana Palace close to Ipanema. That's where there will be not very few people, but you will have space. Just don't stand in front of Copacabana Palace. It's like the worst place to stand if you hate crowds. Come to Copacabana Beach with absolutely no cash. Even if you're gonna be at a hotel party, you need to have some cash with you because you just never know what will happen. So my advice to you is to keep about 400 reais in cash on you, especially if you're gonna spend your New Year's Eve literally right on the beach. The vendors won't have enough time to be giving you a credit card machine, nor do they want to. It's a very cash-oriented environment on New Year's Eve, especially if you want beers, if you want chicken sticks, hot dog sticks, everything. Just have some cash and be ready to pull it out when you buy stuff on the beach. No credit cards. Okay? What is number 10? Dang, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Oh, yes, I know. Wait until New Year's Eve to buy your ticket to a kiosk party or hotel party. Now, as of late, New Year's Eve in Rio de Janeiro hasn't necessarily sold out like it did probably in 2012, 2013, 2014. There's still a ton of people and the parties aren't selling out like they used to, but I still wouldn't take that chance. So never wait until New Year's Eve to actually buy your ticket to a New Year's Eve party. First and foremost, you're gonna be paying like 30% more than you would have paid if you had just bought it a month and a half ago. And the party potentially could be sold out. There are some parties that will sell out for New Year's Eve. I have heard of some people getting into some parties at the last minute, but that was their B plan. Like, they didn't like where they were in the beginning, and so they were like, you know what, let's just go here and see if this party will accept our 700 reais to get into this party. If it's a B plan, perfect, go for it. But if your A plan is doing a party, hotel party or a kiosk party on the beach, don't wait until New Year's Eve to book it. Book it as soon as you can.